Happy New Year! Guys, it is January. It is time for Market Update, and that might be the very last time that I say Happy New Year, and it is still worth saying because thank God it is 2021. I'm Seth Mills with the Mills Group at Keller Williams Realty, and this is our monthly market update. Guys, we're going to look back at 2020 in review, take a quick recap, and this time I'm going to keep it short. You've got 3 simple stats to go through. So let's look at the first one. 14% is your first stat. 14% is the increase in median sales price in the second half of 2020 compared to the exact same time period in 2019. 14%. That could be expressed as direct appreciation in home value, folks. 14% is massive because we historically see an average of about 3 to 4% for an entire year. And so for those who thought a pandemic would squash home values and make it very difficult to sell a home, well, they were just very, very wrong. So for those of you who are homeowners, congratulations. You've got a whole bunch of new equity that you may not realize. For those of you looking to get into the market and purchase, thankfully, interest rates are still historically low. And so it's a really great win-win situation, both for sellers and for buyers. That's your first stat. Your second stat is number 2. Folks, North Texas is the number 2 destination for all of U-Haul, only behind Tennessee. Now let's look at the landscape of North Texas and Tennessee. We've got a bunch of corporate relocation here in North Texas. These are folks that might hire movers as opposed to using U-Haul. So it's very difficult to track direct migration patterns because that does include folks who don't have reported living situations. Perhaps it's an apartment. Perhaps they're living with their folks. Perhaps they have 2 homes. There's a bunch of anomalous situations there. And regardless, that's a very significant number, the number 2 in the entire country. The third statistic is $50,000. Now, this one is a little bit more impactful. $50,000 is the dividing line for annual income below which we see a massive reduction in employment, a spike in unemployment that just has not yet recovered since last March, April, May, when the pandemic first hit and we saw the massive rounds of layoffs and furloughs. Above $50,000, though, we see historically low levels of unemployment. The best employment numbers that we've ever seen above $50,000 a year in income. Folks, this is huge, especially for the home market, because these people are the ones generally that are buying homes. You do have households that are made up of folks, several different earners that contribute to an overall household income that can afford to purchase a home, and yet your typical home buyer is in this category above, and they are at historically low unemployment, which is really bodes well for the future of the housing market. Guys, 2020 was a historic year for many reasons. 2021, obviously, we're off to a bang. We are still in very strange times. And I will tell you this, if you're waiting for things to get better, then you're not doing your part. Folks, there is no vaccine that will fix this. There is no politician that will fix this. Our economy is both suffering and exploding at the exact same time. Guys, it is up to every single one of us, and how do we contribute? How do we move this forward? So I want to leave you with a quote. This is my final thoughts. This is from a book that I read recently, The 12-Week Year. Really phenomenal book. I cannot recommend it enough if you're looking for something good to read. Those of you who have reading on your New Year's resolutions. The future you're going to live is the one that you're creating right now at this very moment. You are designing your future. You are impacting those around you. The economy, the market stats that we will be looking at in the future, when we look backwards, we're looking at today and the choices that all of us make. Will we choose to be productive members of the society? Will we choose to grow this economy? Will we choose to take advantage of historic opportunities to move up in the market, perhaps? That's up to you, folks. Thank you for watching so much. We'll see you next month.